guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this great email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy, it sounds like, if I do the math, he's about my age, and he's going to share his story about events that happened in the mid to late 90s, where involving this gal who definitely did him wrong, and how he definitely came back in a way you wouldn't believe. And essentially, this guy was raised by a single mom, who obviously did the best she could, but didn't really have much of a father figure around to show him the way. And he was essentially, as he'll admit, blue-pilled, and learns the hard way when he got to his first serious girl. They were pretty serious, he was on his grind, doing well for himself, and she pretty much left him high and dry. And he definitely learned the hard way, but eventually moves on, and now this guy, he did a complete 180, and let me tell you, his life is one that we could all strive to have. Let me tell you. And ultimately, this guy has the last laugh, because as I always tell you, they always come back. But you're going to see how this guy handles the whole situation. It's going to have you guys definitely laughing at some point. So, jumping right into it, he says, Hi SSM. Sorry this is so long, but I'm experienced, so this story takes a while to tell. No problem, bro. Guys, I get emails all the time. And if you got a really good story to share, I don't care if the story is 10 pages long. Clearly, you guys enjoy the good stories. I know a lot of you guys listen to me when you're driving to work or driving home or whatever at the gym. So I know you guys don't mind the long stories. So if you got a long story, guys, share it. Don't leave anything out. Just make sure it's well written. Anyhow, he says, I thought I would tell you my story, and you can decide if there are any nuggets of wisdom to share with this group. I was definitely blue-pilled as a child, raised by a single mom and had a younger half-sister. Mom and dad had split up when I was a toddler. He got visitation, but mom pretty much had sole custody. She didn't work, and looking back, my dad financed her entire lifestyle. What do you mean she didn't work? I had a great group of friends at the local college I went to, and it was a mixture of guys and gals. One of the girls, we'll call her Mary, had a younger sister who we'll call Jessica. When we would get together, sometimes Jessica would tag along, and we all considered her our kid sister. She was sweet and pretty, and we were all very protective of her. Everybody always say they're so sweet until, well, they're not so sweet. One day when I was 21 and about to begin my senior year of college, and Jessica was 18, and about to begin her freshman year at the same college as the rest of us, my group of friends decided we should be a couple and set us up on a date. That's always a pain in the ass when your friends are trying to set you up with somebody else, let alone somebody else in your circle of friends. It's not worth it. It's not worth messing up your friendship group. We all made plans on going to this romantic comedy. He says, I know. But only me and Jessica showed up. Mary called us 5 minutes before the movie to say we weren't coming and enjoy our date. We did. We started dating, and over the next 4 years, it was really good. Jessica and I were each other's first and only. So you think, bro. You know for you, but her, you never know. If she was pretty, I don't know about that. We got along great, and we're even talking marriage. I got my BBA in computer information systems and was moving up fast. I already was making good money. This was in 1995, so $87,000 a year was really good money back then. Dude, that's awesome. $87K in 1995. Now, I don't know where you were living. I mean, obviously, if you're living in New York City or San Francisco, that higher cost of living, but still 87 grand, 1995. Shit, if you're making 87 grand now, in a lot of parts of this country, you're living quite comfortably. He says, I was making that money, 87K, and saving 10% into my 401K and investing another 10% with a brokerage. Awesome. That's the way to go, guys. Starting young. I had no debts. We were living together in an apartment, but looking to build a house. My dad is a contractor, or was a contractor, and was going to build me a house for cost. Sweet. I just needed to purchase the land and provide the blueprint Jessica and I had been working on with an architect to finalize. Jessica had recently gotten her first job post-graduation as a travel agent for a company who did packages to the Caribbean islands. Here's where the trouble started. The female friends that she made at the travel agency were bad influences on her. They were, wait for it, effinists. And filled her head with the ideas like you couldn't possibly be happy without knowing what other guys are like. Translation, you can't be happy unless you ride the carousel and probably be like us. and you couldn't possibly be considering settling down and marrying the first guy you were ever serious about. They either wanted her to join the carousel with them, or they were envious that she had a good thing going with a guy who obviously was doing well for himself. Remember, guys, I tell you all the time, for your relationship guys, pay attention to who your girl hangs out with, not just her circle of friends, but also the female coworkers, because they're going to have an influence on them. Unless she is a natural leader and marches to the beat of her own drum, they're going to have an influence on her. Unfortunately, she ate it all up, and her attitude started deteriorating, basically being unsatisfied with our relationship and me. Even though I was doing the typical blue pill thing and doing everything for her, taking her on frequent trips, paying for everything, etc. You should not be doing that, okay? It's one thing every once in a while, if this is your girlfriend, and you've been together for a while, and she is being a good girlfriend to you, and you know what I mean by that, then okay, occasionally getting her a gift or taking her somewhere, but pretty much everything should be 50-50, okay? In terms of like spending money and stuff like that. And I don't mean like every time you go out to eat, you split the bill. I'm saying maybe one time you get it, you go to Olive Garden, you get the bill. The next time you go to another place, she gets the bill. You see what I'm talking about. To make a long story short, Jessica got the opportunity to take a new position in the company and move to an island in the Caribbean to be a concierge. That's when we had our first serious argument. I told her long-distance relationships never work, and if she decided to take that job and move to Curacao, I guess that's how that's pronounced, I would consider it her breaking up with me. She took the job anyway, packed her stuff, and went. Thus, I began my personal red pill journey. My dad told me all about what happens when you get divorced, and all in all said I was lucky I wasn't having to pay alimony since Jessica and I had been living together for so long. He also said he didn't really ever like her, and he thought she was spoiled. He was right in retrospect. Well, you spoiled her, but again, you were young, you didn't know any better. This is 1995, okay? There was no YouTube. I don't even think Google was in existence in 1995. Yahoo was, AOL, MSN, Amazon was in existence. It's a whole different world. So it's not like this guy had access to this type of information. I, however, was heartbroken and a wreck for about 2 weeks. Eventually, I sucked it up and decided to stick with my original plans. That sucks, man. The fact that you were able to get over in 2 weeks is pretty good. You were together for years. That could have taken easily most dudes a year or two. 2 months later, I closed on 2.5 acres of almost waterfront property, and my dad began building my dream house. I helped as much as I could after work and on weekends, since I've been working at his company since I was 16, and I had nothing else to do. Bro, that is cool. 2.5 acres, almost waterfront property, at your young age, you are kicking ass and taking names. Believe me, you dodged a bullet with her, let me tell you. I made some significant alterations to the plans Jessica and I had originally decided on, because now it was going to be a bachelor's paradise, including a theater/game room, exercise room, and an indoor basketball half court. Holy shit, man. I like to see pictures of this place. 10 months later, I had a housewarming party with all my friends. I was over Jessica. Mary, who's Jessica's older sister, had kept me updated on Jessica's life, including her numerous hookups with local guys, and with each one I cared less and less about her. At the party, we were all enjoying the game room and lots of alcohol that I provided, since the room also features a full bar freshly stocked. Dude, that is the bachelor pad. You are going to have some fun with that. After several drinks, Mary admitted to me that her biggest regret was setting me up with her sister instead of going after me herself. I told her I'm single now, and so we started dating. Mary was very much against marriage, so we basically became friends with benefits. So, you're doing your ex's sister. If this was the show How I Met Your Mother, Barney Stinson would give you a high five, bro. The younger sister ruined it, so, hey, you're free to do whatever you want. All of our friends knew what was going on, and at some point, several months later, Jessica found out from one of our other members of the group that Mary and I were now sleeping together. She transferred back to the home office, got a small apartment, and was determined to pick up with me right where we had left off. You had your chance, honey. You had a great thing going, and you blew it because of your coworkers talked you into going and being free and riding the carousel and all that. You had your shot. I wasn't interested. She was no longer the person I'd fallen in love with before. I didn't even like the person she'd become. I was also very anti-relationship by this point. When she suggested resuming our S-word relationship, I agreed, but told her it was only going to be sex. Holy crap, bro! Another high five. So you're rotating between nailing both sisters. I certainly hope you were careful. She said it was fine with her, though I could easily tell it really wasn't. The first time she saw my house, she had the nerve to be upset when she saw the changes I made to the plans after she left. I told her, this isn't our house, this is my house. You're damn right. And by the way, I just want to go back a second here. As funny as it is that you're nailing both sisters, I certainly hope there wasn't too much drama, because that's not ideal. I want to make that abundantly clear. It is funny, we can all get a laugh, because she knew you were doing her sister and actually rotating between both sisters, but still, if that brought too much drama in your life, it's not worth it. I'd fully shed my blue pill programming, enjoyed being able to do anything I wanted. At this point, I was managing the department, making fantastic money, and was determined to be a bachelor for life. Bro, you were ahead of your time. And again, you dodged a bullet with Jessica, and you learned a very hard but valuable lesson early on. My journey to the RP side of the force was complete. I gotta watch what I say, guys, with the RP thing. YouTube doesn't like it very much. Over the years, I always tried to keep a few girls at one time in my rotation. I got a vasectomy shortly after marriage, and I began having you-know-what to make sure there were no unwanted pregnancies. Yes, good for you, bro. Because given how well you do, and the money you make, and all the toys you have, there'd be girls lining up to have opportunity to get pregnant so that they'd have an easy paycheck for 18 years. It is what it is, guys. I give you the ugly truth on this channel. He says you'd be surprised to find out how hard it is to get a vasectomy before you're 30 years old. I lied to the urologist and said I already had 2 kids. Mary and Jessica eventually moved on, though Mary and I still remain friends. Now, all these years later, I can't remember the last time I've gone more than 3 weeks without any bedroom fun. I dress to impress, take care of myself, eat right, and exercise regularly. I work at my gym, shoot baskets, or play handball at my half court, and spend time with my friends. I also got my MBA. Dude, you are living the life. This is great. I never let anyone move into my house. No one gets a drawer, shelf, or anything. Very smart. And I'm sure you've had plenty over the years that have tried to move in, tried to get you to get serious with a commitment, And hey, you know what? If one day down the road you change your mind and whatever, okay, but just be careful. And you know what? I'm talking about relationships, but still, I've done plenty of videos what happens when they move in. Everything can be great for years, and the second you move in together, boom. Night and day difference. He says Jessica is now divorced with 1 child. Well, there's a freaking surprise. I heard from Mary that her marriage ended due to her infidelity. Once a cheater, always a cheater. The last time I saw a picture of her, she gained a lot of weight. I dodged a bullet. There is in that in so many ways. Yeah, and now, all these years later, while she was obviously very good looking when she was younger, not so much anymore. So the gals always start high on the totem pole, and the better looking they are, the higher up they are. Guys, unfortunately for the most of us, we're at the bottom of the totem pole, and we rise as we get older with our experiences, our maturity, our wisdom, our knowledge, our money, resources, all that. And our prime is generally considered to be 30 years old on up. In fact, I've read multiple times it's considered that a man's peak is 50 years old. And I know a lot of women, and I have a lot of female clients that are older, and a lot of women like the George Clooney types. He's now 60 years old, but back in the day when he's like in his 50s and he had kind of the silver fox, if you will, they like those guys because those guys are along in life, they're mature, the ones that take care of themselves, mind you. It's like the saying that men age like Sean Connery and women age like Sean Connery. We get better with time, but they most of the time don't. Now, if the women take care of themselves, you can have darn good-looking women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, but they got to work hard at it. But most of them, and given the fact I live in Massachusetts and a lot of women here look like horses, they don't take care of themselves, and therefore they don't look as good. But a guy can definitely keep it up for a long time. But it's not like we can just sit around. You got to take care of yourselves, guys. Just had to mention that. Meanwhile, I'm living my best life, still contracting in my field. I'll most likely retire soon, fairly wealthy. My investments have grown this entire time, and at this point, I only work because I love what I do and the people I work with. I travel whenever I like. Dude, your life is sounding a lot like mine. I'm still on my path because I truly found my passion and purpose in my 40s. I've always done well, but really now in my 40s, I love what I do. Absolutely. If there was a point that I could retire easily, say it was 10 years from now or 5 years, depending on how well I do, I'd still keep doing this because I love what I do. This is every day I wake up and I'm excited to go shoot videos, and it's always fun to publish them and see all your comments and the views and all that. It's exciting. Absolutely love what I do. To be perfectly honest, I'll probably work to the day I die, or at least as long as my brain is functioning, because how much I love being on my purpose. I love starting new businesses and seeing how them flourish. It's a great feeling. He says, I can buy pretty much whatever I want. I own a 2021 Tesla Model S, a brand new 2022 Corvette Stingray. He says a 2017 Yamaha V-Star 1300, 2 Yamaha Wave Runners, and a 2007 twin-engine Diamond DA42. Dude, you are fucking rich. I can go where I want and when I want with who I want and do whatever I want. See, guys? Does this sound like a bad thing to you? This is the life. Good for this guy. He's, to quote Mel Gibson in Braveheart, freedom. I am debt-free. I pay off my credit cards each month and have a near-perfect credit rating. Yes. Guys, you want to be in that situation. You want to live beneath your means. Wherever you are in life, live beneath your means. That way you can always, whatever you charge every month in the credit cards, pay them off every time, have great credit. That's what you got to do. That's what I do. My life is so stress-free because of this. And he says, as it turns out, Jessica did the best thing she could do for me by taking that job. I wouldn't have the life I had if I married her. I'd probably be slaving away to pay that alimony. Success and its own reward. Absolutely. Success is its own reward. Success is the best revenge. And that's why I push guys so much for you guys to be the best you can be, to make things happen for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we're all masters of our own destiny. And if you want something, go for it. You can make it happen. And are there going to be hurdles and roadblocks and setbacks? Of course. But you keep moving on, you figure out a way and keep going, and you can live a really nice life. Okay? Just be smart with your money. Don't piss away on bullshit, especially pissing away on women, trying to impress them, Start early on, putting it away, investing it, growing it, just like this guy did, Not everybody's meant to be a bachelor like him. Not everybody's going to be as rich as him, but you can certainly work towards that and see where you come out. But anyhow, guys, perfect example of bachelor for life. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, like I said before, if you got a great story you'd like to share, email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com, and I will definitely cover it later on down the road. Just make sure it's well written. This guy emailed me, I would say easily, 4 to 6 weeks ago, so I will get to it eventually if it definitely works for the channel. And this also goes for any good articles you may come across. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.